and welcome to my third video of our doll customization fair collab project. In this video I'm making an outfit for my BJD Immortality. I'm not showing you how I made the wings. Please check out Alvinia's part B customization for that. So first off I start with the socks. Nothing special, nothing new. I'm sure I've done it a few times. So, hem the top part of the socks, stretching out the fabric while sewing so that the fabric remains stretchy, and fold it in half, good side to good side, and sew up the side seam. Then turning them inside out. So next, some bloomers. Folding up, sewing up the two crotch seams first. And making some cuts so it doesn't make it difficult to turn or whatnot. Then I fold over the top seam enough so I can make an elastic casing, and also doing the same on the two bottom seams for the leg pieces, leg parts, pants parts. And then so I sew, and then I use baby pins to thread my elastics through, making sure that I don't accidentally lose the other edge. And then for the top one, I'm going to just sew the two pieces of elastic together. Ow! Cat! And then distribute the elastic. Then I'm going to thread the elastic through on the pants, and instead of, well, so you can sew the elastic pieces together now, or you can have them sewn together when you sew up the inner leg seams, but that's not as reliable. And the other pant leg, threading the elastic and sewing the elastic. And then I'm going to sew up my inner leg seams. And then turning them inside out, and I'm done with my bloomers. Next, my bodice. I have two tulle pieces for my centerpiece. I have some fancy lace. I have some 6 pieces of fabric and 6 pieces of lining. I use the same fabric so it doesn't matter. So I sew the front and sides together, then press open the seams towards each side and iron that, or rather press the seams with a flat iron, not a flat iron. What's it called in English? I don't know, but anyway, iron seams. And next I'm going to sew the back pieces to the side pieces. And then also press open the seam allowance at the back and press the seams. So now I'm going to pin and sew along the lining to the fabric at the top edge, making sure all of my seams align properly with each other. And now I'm going to add my white piece of lace to the one side to my fabric side, and sew that in place, and repeat for the other side. And I'm going to use my other lace and sew it onto the lining, but only at the edge, because it's pretty much going to be flipped over and be visible beneath my tool. And you can see it over there on the side. I have my tool on a blue plastic, and I used some fabric glue to technically glue the two pieces of tulle in place. So after sewing on the lace and the fabric glue is dried, I pin my tool to my lining and sandwich it between the lining and the fabric and the two lace pieces, and then sew. And after sewing to one side and making sure everything sits nicely, I'm going to the inside and trim off the excess lace to prevent bulk. And after that, turning it inside out. And now I'm going to pin the tool onto the other piece of my bodice in the same way, and sandwiching the tool between the two pieces and sewing. I think you've noticed that my second lace does not go all the way to the bottom edge of my fabric. That's because the two bottom pieces of my fabric are going to be sewn together, like I'm doing right now with my hand sewing with an invisible stitch. And unfortunately it's pretty much off camera. Just know that some of my footage is a bit of a mess later. So I'm folding it back inside out and pinning and sewing up the side seams. And then later off camera I'm going to be adding some rings so I can lace up the back kind of like a corset. And I'm also sewing a bit of the tulle and tying a knot to make a bit more of a sweetheart bodice type look. And this time I have some more tulle, 4 layers, but that wasn't enough this time. I sewed the gathering stitch and pin it in place while gathering, making sure I got everything how I want it to be. And after sewing that on, I sew up the back side and tie a knot because it's tulle and it comes loose. So now my sleeves, different from my other one, I have some shoulder cuffs and sleeve cuffs. And first I pin my 2 shoulder cuffs together and sew, cut some slits to make it turning it inside out a bit easier, and then iron it. And I fold my sleeve cuffs in half and sew that to my tulle sleeves after gathering it, and then I sew a gathering stitch along the top and pin my shoulder cuffs to the top edge. I'm sorry for the jumpiness of the footage. I thought I was recording when I wasn't, and I thought I wasn't recording when I was. So yeah, it's a mess. Anyway, after pinning that, I sew it on, then fold it good side to good side and sew up the sides. I decided to use pink for the sleeves because I thought it would accent nicely with the pink on the bodice. I'm not sure how it turned out. What do you think? Anyway, and then there's also a choker I made from ribbon, just stitched together with hook and eye closure. And like I said, the wings, I can show you how I made them in my Alvinia part B, and then she's done. Thanks for watching. Please remember to watch the dress up for the full view of the full outfit, and please remember to watch the other videos in the collab. I hope you enjoy the series and enjoy the time with us. Truly thanks for watching. Hope it wasn't too long. Bye bye.